Well, the purpose of Father's Day is to honor and celebrate our dads. You have to know that the history of Father's Day is simply you've been weighed in the balance and you've been found wanting. I remember back years ago pastoring in Austin, in Ohio, that on Father's Day, I wanted to challenge the dads so much to be everything that I knew they were. And I wanted them to understand how important they were and how critical they were to the survival of the family. And so I would preach my messages, but you end up at the end of it, the dad's feeling like, I can't measure up to that. You know, you've got this ideal that I just can't reach. And they, most of the time, they left somewhat discouraged. And I realized at some point that this is really not the way to do this, that, you know, you preach it so hard sometimes. It's like you've been weighed in the balance and you've been found wanting. Ordinary men, you see, can find it impossible to live up to the ideal dad, to measure up to this dad that we put out there on Father's Day. They feel it's impossible. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 6 gives us the need and the possibility of Father's Day, though. Because in Malachi 4, he said, he will turn the hearts of the children to their fathers. And that's really my goal today, to recognize the need and the possibility that's in the room. And that is to turn the hearts of the children back to their dads. And I know that's a need because every son of Adam is broken. And so every dad has, in some way or another, at some point, has hurt a son or a daughter. We try to do our best, but so often we fall short. And we fall short because we're all sons of Adam, and we're all broken. And so on this day, Father's Day 2024, I want to give voice to the men that are in the room and those that are watching online. I want to say what they will never say. I want to give you 7 things that every dad wishes he could say to his wife and his children, but he just can't. It just goes cross-grain with who a man is. He just can't say it. And I do this because as much as men may seem closed off at times, as much as men may seem private and more introverted, you have to know this, that every man, every grown man longs and needs to be understood. 7 things that dad wish he could say to you. Number 1, the demand of fatherhood is often greater than our skill set. Historically, Father's Day was a date on the calendar when we reminded dad that he didn't measure up to the man in the message. Daniel chapter 5, verse 27, he said, you have been weighed on the scales and found deficient. And the thing is, you don't have to remind any man in this room or watching online that they feel or in many ways are deficient. They already know that. With all that we do and as hard as we try to be everything that we need to be, a provider, a protector, a father, a counselor, a lover, all the things, a psychologist, all the things that we need to do and we need to be, out of everything that we do, I can tell you, I can assure you at the end of the day, most men, if not all, feel deficient. They just don't quite measure up. And I can tell you for sure that most men, if not all, have asked the question, am I a good father? For every pastor, to every man that's in this room or watching online, for every Father's Day, let me say this, I am sorry for making it impossible for you to measure up to the man in the message. We have a young lady that would like to share something with you.
Dear Dad, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for being such an amazing dad. I just want to remind you that you are. Thank you for all the times you've helped me with my schoolwork, with my assignments. Thank you, even the days that you come back from work and you're tired and you feel emotional. You're just not ready to do it. You always put a smile on your face and get ready to work with me. I have no idea how to make A's in my classes without you, Dad. Thank you for always doing your best to lead us in the way of the Lord, not just by what you say, but by what you do, the examples that you put up for us. You're always humble. You're always ready to receive correction and own up to your mistakes. Thank you for all the times you've corrected me. I might not be always able to understand it, but you're molding me into the woman that God wants me to be. Thank you for leading me and my family in devotions every night and being the pastor of our home. You never fail to tell us how much you love me and are proud of me. You're always quick to celebrate even our smallest accomplishments, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful to have you as a role model in my life. I love you and care about you so much. You're the best dad ever.
Well done, Carissa. Number 2, ladies, families, know this. Instinctively, men carry the burden of the provider. You have to understand that man was given work before the woman was created. In Genesis chapter 2, it said, the Lord took the man and put him in the garden to work it. That doesn't diminish the importance of the woman, but you have to understand that he was given work before he was given the woman. And Elohim, the creator God, put this in man instinctively to provide and to protect his family. He can't help it. It's just a part of his identity. A man's self-worth is directly connected to his ability to provide, to have everything that his family needs and even what they want. His identity, his self-worth, who he is as a man is directed to his work. A man needs his family to understand this and respect his ambition to provide. He needs you to understand that. Because I can assure you that when the man is at work, he may be there in body, but his heart is with his kids at the game. Dads want to be able to go to every game, to every school function, to everything there is. He never wants to work on his anniversary or her birthday, but it doesn't always work out that way. And I can assure you that when he's not with you in body, he is in heart. And he's at the job working, and he is conflicted because he wants to be a provider and provide for his family, but yet he wants to be at the game and be there with his kids. And I remember being that conflicted dad of trying to be there at every game for my kids and now every game for my grandkids. But you have to know, ladies, that this is a part of who he is. He needs you to understand his ambition and respect that. We have another young lady that would like to share something.
Dear Dad, you've always been a great provider for our family. Thank you for always putting us first and make sure we have everything we could ever want or need. As I get older, the unseen sacrifices you make for us become more visible. I know sometimes it's hard for you because you want to spend time with us, but you have to go to work or something. But just know that everything that I am and everything I will be is because of you and what you have provided for me. You are the biggest blessing in my life, and I thank God every day for giving me the best parents I could ask for. Since the day I was born, you've always provided, protected, and loved me, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for being such a great dad. I love you. Happy Father's Day.
Well done, Elise. Number 3, men would rather feel unloved than to feel inadequate and disrespected. You have to know that the primary need for a man is respect. So I can assure you that he would say to you, respect me first, love me later. I know that the basic need of a woman is to feel secure and to feel loved. The basic need of a man is to be respected and to feel proud, to feel proud of who he is and of his family and all that he has. That's a God-given thing that he put in him, to be that male man that needs to be respected. In Ephesians chapter 5, Paul told the church, the wife must, it's not an option, it's not a suggestion, must respect her husband. He said that because he understood how important it was to the man, to the male man, to be respected. That's why when I'm counseling with young couples, young ladies, I often will tell them, never embarrass your husband in public. I tell children, don't disrespect your dad in front of people. That's a huge no-no for him. You always want to show respect to your father, to your dad, to your husband, because it's such a basic need within them. You need to know this, that if a family approaches with respect, the father will respond with love. Another young lady has something she'd like to share.
Dad, you have always been a man that I have had such respect and admiration for. From you going back to college and being the first in our family to get your bachelor's and master's degree, to the way you navigate through life with such confidence and passion. You have been not only the most amazing father, but you are a true inspiration of what a husband should be. And I hope to find a man even half as extraordinary as you are. Even though I will be graduating and going off to college next year, I want you to remember that I'll always be Daddy's little girl. And I love you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Well done, Zoe. We're going to be in prayer for Dante when she goes to college. He'll enter into the grieving season of his life. Number 4. This is what dads would say to their sons and daughters. Each time you fall, we fail. It's been said that the father who does not teach his son his duties is equally guilty with the son who neglects them. Now, we may not agree with that or not, but that's what's said, that's what's taught. That's what fathers feel, that every time my son or my daughter falls, I fail. Because Proverbs 22 says, train up a child in the way he should go. That's the responsibility that a father feels, to be that mentor and to be that one that will train and equip his mentee. And when the son or the daughter stumbles in life, the dad feels that. And here's the thing, guys, the best parents can raise the best kids that sometimes will make mistakes. And though we don't blame the dad, I can assure you the dad feels responsible because that's a dad's heart. That's the way a dad feels. So every time a child falls, the father feels the pain of failure. We have a young man that would like to share something.
Abba, man, so many times I can only imagine how you must have felt, what you could have done different, or even ask God, what did I do wrong? Where did I fall short at? Man, I want you to know that I made my own decisions. But man, the way that, as I walked through hell, I didn't have to ask to, man, but you walked with me. Your consistency, the way that, man, all my compromise and all my doubtings, all my wonderings, man, one thing I never doubted was the way that you love me. The compassion and the care that you have for our family, man. It's your faith that tore the roof off and got me to Jesus. And then when I did come back, I didn't have to come back and prove myself and do this and cut backflips and do that, man. I just had to turn and start coming toward home. And you came out and you met me on the road. Man, I just want to tell you how much I honor you, man, how much I love you. Just how much I respect you, man, and I appreciate you. I can't make up for the time lost, and I know that you're not asking me to, but what I can do is I can walk uprightly before the Lord Jesus and allow the Holy Spirit to conform me to the image of Christ so that one day, years from now, when you're ready to pass that baton, I'll be there to grab it. Happy Father's Day, man. I love you.
Well done, Josh. Catch your breath. Number 5. Ladies, please hear me. Especially the kids, too. You got to hear this. Never measure our feelings for you by the words we fail to speak to you. You have to know that a man says what he thinks. He gives information. It's problem solving. That's what men do. Women, she says what she feels. It's relationship and connection. That's why we talk about two flesh will become one and how that's a powerful force. The sensitivity of the woman, the strength of the man, the intuition of the woman, and the logic of a man. And those two together make a powerful force. But oftentimes, men are men of few words, but they speak what they know. And it's about problem solving. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 8 says, pay close attention, friend, to what your father tells you. Now, again, that's giving you some insight into the male man. That he's the one, he's telling you something. He wants to teach. He wants to problem solve. Never forget what you learned at your mother's knee. And so there's a compassion and a love on the mother's knee, but then there's that strength of that information and that teaching from the father. So here's the statement I want to give you guys. Never measure the depth of our feelings by the length of our words. Never measure the depth of our feelings by the length of our words. Know this, men may say little, but they feel deeply. We have another young lady that would like to share something.
I know a lot of men don't say a whole lot of words, but they still feel things really deeply. And you're one of those people. So I figured I'd do the talking for the both of us. When I tell you I love you, you say it back. And I know you mean it because of the tone of voice you use. But your actions will always speak louder than your words. From hearing that you watched the Taylor Swift concert movie, to letting me and my brothers rehash the day in your room at midnight, and even to the crazy things you do in youth group, like getting slimed, your actions will always speak louder than your words. So anyway, happy Father's Day, Daddy. I love you, and thank you for everything that you've done to show your love.
Well done, Audrey. Number 6, for the dads. Know this, that we're always available. We're just not sure if you're always interested. Ephesians chapter 6, Paul said, honor your father, which is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on earth. There is a direct connection to honoring your father. to understanding the value that he brings to your world. The word honor means to fix value, to fix value on someone. That's what this moment is all about. It's about me just creating an opportunity for all these young people to say to their dad, I love you, and to fix value upon them. That's what you do when you honor people. You're saying, I value who you are. So let me ask every son and every daughter in the room, when was the last time you valued your father by asking him for advice? When was the last time you showed respect and value to your dad by sitting down and saying, hey, Dad, can I ask you a question? I've got this situation and I just don't know what to do. How would you handle it? Because understand this, a mentoring moment builds memories for a lifetime. We have a young man that would like to share something.
I'm very thankful to have a wise father that points me towards the right direction in life. The advice you give me and the example you set for me is a testament to God's love for us. I can't imagine I would have been able to grow into a man of God without your guidance. Proverbs 22:6 says, point your children in the right direction so that when they grow old, they won't be led astray. Even as I continue to become more independent, I pray that you continue to be a leader and a voice of reason for many years to come in my life. God has blessed me with an amazing dad who has always been there for me, and I'm beyond grateful for you. I'm proud to call you my dad. I love you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Number 7. Ladies, know this. Kids, know this. Fixing your world is how we say, I love you. Couldn't find a better way to communicate this one than to show you a short video.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me, and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's gonna stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever gonna stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
No, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. If you would just...
Don't.
Try to see it.
And all the men said, problem solving was a love language God the Father taught Adam, his son. Genesis 2:15, the Lord took the man, put him in the garden, and he said to him, son, I want you to take care of this. So ladies, please understand that it's something that's just intuitive. It's built into the man. It's a part of his fabric, that he just feels this need to fix things. And oftentimes when the ladies start sharing things with us, it's so hard, we immediately just want to fix it when they just want us to listen. And we need to do that, but I just want you to understand how conflicted the man is, because the whole time he's needing to listen, he's really wanting to fix it. And that's why I tell you often, be careful what you say to your husband or to your father, because he's gonna fix it. I shared with you here again the other day the story of I was pastoring in Ohio and I was in my office and my phone rang. I picked it up and it was Amy. And Amy was working just down the street at a place, and she was telling me, Dad, there's this guy in the warehouse. He keeps coming up front. He's flirting with me. He's old enough to be my dad, and it's just so inappropriate, you know. And it's just weird. And I said, really? I said, okay. And I hung up the phone, and I got up, and I was shutting my office down and getting my briefcase, and I was gonna drive down there and go in that warehouse and have a come to Jesus meeting with him. And suddenly Amy realized what she did, and the phone went off again. She said, Dad, listen, what are you doing? I said, I'm coming down there. She said, no. It's not as bad as I told you. It's not, but that's a dad. That's how dads are. More than once I've stepped up because someone did something in front of my wife. That's just dads. So you have to know that that's their love language. You have to know that no greater language does dad know than when he lays down his life for you. John chapter 15, verse 13, greater love hath no man that he laid down his life, and this is what fathers do. They spend their lifetime creating a lifestyle for other people. They wear their bodies down trying to fix your world because they love you. And they know of no greater way to say it than to provide for you, to protect you, and to fix whatever is challenging you. That's their love language. We have another young man that would like to share something.
I remember as a kid, you would fix my toys, you would fix things and my scrapes and bruises. And as I grew, you fixed my butt when I needed it. And may not have liked it, but I needed it. And as I even grew more and had my own family, you helped me fix them. And you're always willing to be there for me. For a phone call, you're willing to answer and give me guidance that I need. And I'm so grateful for all those things throughout the years that you've done for me. But honestly, today, I want to thank you for all those things you didn't do and that I thought maybe you should have done. But you gave me guidance, you gave me opportunity, and you made me the man I am today. And because of your hard work and you not being there for me at baseball games and stuff, you were creating an opportunity in a life for me to create for my kids. So you're the greatest dad, and I love you very much.
Good job, Chad. I have one last thing I'd like to share with you. It's for everyone. And I can't think of a better way to do it than to show you a video clip here in just a moment. Now, you may not care for this movie, and I understand, but don't focus on that. Just focus on this one clip. But in the movie The Field of Dreams, the dad, Ray, was told in dreams and he heard the statement, ease his pain. Now, you know, Ray was a farmer. He grew corn. And while he was out in his corn, he'd hear that statement, ease his pain. And he felt compelled to build this baseball diamond out in his cornfield, which would be devastating for him financially because he'd be losing his crop. To build a baseball diamond out in the middle of nowhere, that made no sense. But at the end of the story, he discovered the reason for it. It was to create a second chance for his dad. Now, what had happened is when Ray was young, he used to play catch with his dad, John. But one day, words were said, feelings were hurt, and Ray walked away, and he would never play catch with his dad again. And after his dad died, of course, he regretted that he just allowed his anger and his feelings to get in the way. And he missed those moments of playing catch with his dad. I want you to watch this short video. It's about giving your dad a second chance.
It's so beautiful here. For me, it's like a dream come true. Can I ask you something? Is this heaven? It's Iowa. Iowa? Yeah. Could have sworn it was heaven. Is there a heaven? Oh, yeah. It's the place dreams come true. Maybe this is heaven. Good night, Ray. Good night, John. Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch? I'd like that.
As I said earlier, most dads have experienced the pain at one time or another of feeling that he failed in some way as a father. On this Father's Day, the greatest gift that you could give to your father is just to ease his pain. Malachi 4 verse 6 said, he will turn the hearts of the children to their fathers. The greatest Father's Day gift you could give to your dad is just to ease his pain. Just let him know you're a good dad. With all the ups and downs, the times he wasn't able to make the ball game, with the times perhaps when his temper got the best of him and perhaps he just said too much, just to let him know you're still a good dad. Because every dad struggles feeling like in some way I let my wife, I let my kids down. So you ask the question, what is the purpose of this service today? The answer is this: try to help us understand Dad and just perhaps turn our hearts towards him and ease his pain. Luke chapter 15, you remember the story of the prodigal son. You remember the story. Left his dad, wanted to go out on his own, wouldn't listen, had to do it his way. Left. But then he came to his senses. And the Bible said in Luke 15, so he got up and he went to his father. I hope today you understand Dad maybe a little better. I hope today that you'll try a little harder to ease his pain. I hope today, if you've been estranged from your father, you've been alienated. Perhaps like with Ray and John in the clip, maybe something happened, something was said, and that relationship has been broken. I hope today you'll go see your dad. I hope you'll pick up the phone and call him and just say, Dad, look, I'm sorry for things that were said or done. And it just doesn't matter. What matters most is our relationship. Today would be the day to get up and go to your father.